Yo, 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 what's good, everybody, man? Just wanted to tap in and do a little Teddy's take with my boy E. We're gonna talk a lot of hoops, man. There's a lot of stuff been going on. So I kind of want to just open up and let y'all know, man, I'm a diehard UNC fan, and I'm Chapel Hill to the death of me. But it hurts me to say, but I ain't delusional. Number one and number two for the rookie of the year, Cooper Flagg, Kon Knueppel. There's no debate. These Duke Blue Devils have been playing out of their mind. They've exceeded expectations for me. Um, and last night, kind of wiped my eyes a little bit, looked into the sky. I seen a star. His name was Cooper Flagg, and the star is emerging. And the reason why I wanted to kind of point and shed a lot of light on this is he had 33 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists, and he only missed 7 shots. And the reason why he didn't score more is because he was being a team player facilitating for others because it was ended up being a close game. Denver started clawing back. But what I will say is the game is slowing down for this kid, and I want to pay a lot of homage to Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd did this experiment. It was very, very dangerous. Say, hey, we're gonna put him at the point forward position. We're gonna put him in a lot of the offensive sets to be able to facilitate. They've kind of figured out that it didn't work. Anthony Davis started, actually playing basketball instead of being street clothes. So now that he's out there, being more available, Cooper Flag is able to roam freely and do his thing. So I kind of wanted to touch bases on it because my man's E has been vouching for everybody to understand that Kon Knueppel is a problem. But after last night, I wanted to ask you, E, how would you rank the ladders, bro?
Listen, man. Listen, man. First off, the Mavericks. Well, no, I gotta answer your question. I gotta answer your question. Let's get here. I got Con. Let
Huh?
me be. Let me say I got Kon Knueppel. So if I got my MVP ladder, I'm going Con. I'm going Cooper. It's Cooper, right? We real close. And then I got Jeremiah Fears, and then I got like Derek Queen floating around there. Derek Queen. See, the thing about Derek Queen is everybody kind of missing the games where he's not performing super well, but he's still
Right.
making it. But anyway, the reason I got Con, right? We talk about circumstances and organizations, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's really nice that Cooper Flag has Anthony Davis, Klay Thompson, Kyrie Irving, Jason Kidd to all ping from and get information from and figure out what to do and what not to do as far as being an NBA champion, as far as being a professional, and when we talk about it, as far as just learning the game of basketball.
Right.
Con ain't that out there in Charlotte. Con, hey Con, go ahead, go do your thing, baby. We got a bunch of YNs. We've been a bad organization for a while. We don't even know what winning look like. And Con said, all right, cool. I play basketball. I hoop. So what you need from me today? You need me to play off LaMelo, or you need me to run the team? You need me to knock down this three, or you need me to get my big man involved? You need me to get Miles Bridges involved, or Diabate. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
for me, I got Con just off of circumstances, just because the numbers are identical, right? The numbers, I mean, the way they're producing, I think Con is at 18.7 and Cooper's at 19. I think Cooper got more rebounds, obviously, he's bigger. But from a standpoint of, I was gonna say, from a standpoint of being the best player on your team, shit, Con. Hey, let me not get too far. Let me not go too far. I don't know if I want to say it yet, but I'm just saying. If so, for me to answer your question, I got Con, but I do believe if it comes down to it, they're gonna give it to Cooper Flag. If it's as close as it is right now, they're gonna give it to Cooper Flag because the NBA has a lot of stake in Cooper Flag. Right? Let's be honest. Like we didn't rig this draft selection for Cooper not to be the rookie of the year. You feel me? So I think they'll give it to him just because of who he is. And on top of that, Charlotte don't get a lot of TV time, right? I watch
Right.
Charlotte. Like, I'm able, because I got the bootleg. I got it. I'm watching it. But
Right.
but as far as like national TV games, like last night, Peacock was showing that Maverick versus the Nuggets game. They on Peacock. I don't think the Charlotte Hornets have a nationally televised game this year. So I think a lot more people will also side with Cooper Flag as well. You know what I'm saying? Even though Con is playing really well. So if it's this close, I think the NBA is going to pick Cooper Flag. I ultimately have Con right now today. Right now today, man. So
And
how
the
you
reason
feel? How
why I
you out?
asked that though, because it's a lot of pressure for all these lottery picks and people that come from Duke, because Duke is really programmed to make NBA ready talent, right? And with this particular draft, you got a guy that's Cooper Flagg, that he was a number one. He had a lot of hype behind him, and it was well deserved. But there's a lot of question marks in regards to, can he close the game? He can have a lot of empty stats. He can win ugly. He can win dirt. He can win, pretty. But is he the closer? And I think that he answered a lot of questions in the last couple of games. And people are kind of fail to realize, though, the more games that actually go on, the more comfortable that you get. And it's all about sustainability, right? There's been guys like we seen VJ Edgecombe that came out the rip, boom, 30 clip, and we like, yo, what's going on over there, right? And then we put a lot of high standard on him, and then he kind of fall off the map. He's fighting for minutes with Jared McCain finally being healthy. Um, Quentin Grimes actually, being more of an NBA ready type player, catch and shoot. He doesn't really ask as much. VJ kind of has to have a lot of unnecessary dribbles to kind of be, get going, whatever the case may be, because he's a shot creator instead of just a shot maker. But the
Mhm.
reason why I say that is because I agree with you, right? I think Khan has one of those tweener games where he's not just a catch and shoot guy. He has the ability and the frame to be able to get into the teeth of the actual defense. He's able to have good vision because whether you like it or not, the way that you said that you have options, right? You have Kyrie, Jason Kidd, and all those people that have options with this kid, whether you like it or not, is learning from LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball is one of those generational talents that can facilitate in his sleep. He can drop 12 assists as long as he's locked in. So he's picking up on some of those tools. And even though it's kind of like a freestyle offense where we don't really have an identity, there's, hey, Brandon Miller, you go get 20. Bridges, you get 20. LaMelo, you get 20. Con, I'll get 20, and we'll figure it out on the bench. It's kind of broken that way, but you learn a lot from it, right? He's losing a lot of
Mhm.
close games. They're just not getting killed. They're losing a lot of very, very close games. A lot of people don't realize, bro, when you lose early, it's humble pie. They've been in
Mhm.
Duke, right? So they
Yeah.
wasn't really losing when they was playing. And then when they were in high school, I know that they played at such a high level where losing really wasn't a common thing. So now that you get it
Facts.
early while you in the NBA, humble pie tastes disgusting, and you want to learn as much as you can, right? You want to learn as
Yeah.
much as you can, right? I
Mhm.
think with Cooper Flag, he has an intangible in him where he's very, very teachable. And I think
Mhm.
a lot of the mistakes that he was making early, where he was overthinking, now it's kind of easier for him to kind of transition to be the number one option. And I think
Mhm.
that even despite the 40-point game that he just had and the 33, 9, and 9 that he had this game, this could be the norm, right? We had a big conversation a couple of weeks ago when the season first started. Hey, what's his floor? What's his ceiling? Everybody's making all these guesses, man. And I do recall that you said two particular names on floor and ceiling. So I want you to revisit them two names, and then also now
Oh,
that we're here, tell me if
hey.
you feel good about it.
I feel great. So first, look. First, I started like this. I said, listen, man, Cooper Flag floor at a minimum is Rasheed Wallace. And why I say that is because he can play defense and he can knock down a three ball. At a
Hmm.
minimum, he gonna strap up. At a
For
minimum, and
sure.
he can hit a big shot. You know what I mean? My
Right.
ceiling for him was Jason Tatum, right?
Ooh.
Jason Tatum was my ceiling just because I wanted to see what Cooper Flag looked like as a number one option. So speaking back to what you said, we had a question mark about him closing games, right? That
Right,
was a
right, right.
question mark. Well, last night got a great answer. Got a great answer because when I say closing games, I'm not saying take the last shot. I'm
No.
saying 4 or 5 minutes left in the fourth. We're running the offense through you. We're basing our offense on how you perform and your decision making to get us to win this game. And when I say, bro, Cooper Flag made every right decision in the last 5 minutes of that game yesterday against the Nuggets, who have championship caliber prestige. Right, this ain't no
Play, play.
Jazz. This ain't that 42-point game against the Jazz. Right, this is the Joker. You feel me? And Cooper Flag come out. So this was the action. Right, the action is they start. So Brandon Williams sets on the far right. He's starting to bring the ball up the court. Brandon Williams on
Right.
the far right. Cooper Flag is getting a screen from, it's a double pin down from Anthony Davis and Gafford to come up here and get the ball. After that action, Gafford then set a screen for Anthony Davis to try to get the mismatch, right? So
Sure.
what was happening was Cooper Flag catches at the top of the key. He checked Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis ain't open. All right, cool. Let me get Gafford to give me this pick and roll. And every time they gave him that pick and roll, he was just composed and at a steady pace. Like it was like, okay, I feel Jamal Murray on my backside. I know that I can get this shot off, but I can take my time. I got to remember, you got to remember, as Cooper Flagg, I'm 6'10, I'm 6'11. So even if Jamal Murray is playing good defense in front of me, or he happens to get into my shooting area, I can turn around and shoot a fadeaway because I'm sick. I'm bigger than you. You feel what I'm saying? And I have the ability to do that. So he looks so composed to me, running that pick and roll, knowing when to get a ball to Anthony Davis, knowing when to take the shot. And when I say, I want to say he closed out that game, man, he had either like 6 or 7 points and like 3 assists, and they played through him. So for me, Cooper Flagg's ceiling, how many? Let me ask this. How many 40-point games did Jason Tatum have his rookie year? I don't know. I ain't saying I
don't
don't know.
recall. Like without Google, I couldn't tell you that he was a prestige
I
scorer.
couldn't tell you that after on Cooper's 19th birthday, because he just turned 19 a couple days ago, that on Jason Tatum's 19th birthday, that he was as good as Cooper Flagg is right now today. I know Jason Tatum is a winner, but my point in saying that is that I feel very confident in my answer that he can be Jason Tatum and maybe be even a little better, if I'm being real.
And so this is what I wanted to kind of pause you, right? So Jason Tatum is obviously an NBA champion. He's a top 5, top 10, however you want to look at it when he's healthy, right? And I agree with you, right? But him being the ceiling, I get nervous. And the reason why I say that is because you know how a lot of people, they question his grit, they question how intense he can actually play when it comes to the game. They said he's very 3-point heavy. He falls in love with it. He doesn't know how tall he is on the court. There's a lot of questions when it comes to Jason Tatum. I want him to kind of transition where he can pick up all the good qualities with Jason Tatum and also pick up the good qualities with Paolo. And you know how Paolo came from that program as well. And then just being attacking the glass and the paint ruthlessly. Now he's getting this pin down where he's getting a DHO at the free throw line, being 6'11", and all you got to do is either do a floater or finish it with the off hand. And he's really, really good with the left hand. And that's why I like with the adaptability, man, because at the end of the day, you're going to see a lot of looks that you've never seen in college, right? They always say college people play harder, college kids play harder, but these are kids, right? They don't take the coaching to the next level. And then there's no shots to the top coaches out there in the college programs, but this is NBA talent. This is NBA experience. People that the last 10, 15 years, you've played Joker, Giannis, Steph, LeBron, James Harden. You have played some of the best offensive juggernauts we have ever seen in NBA history. And these are some of the coaches that have survived those particular eras. So now when you go against people like this, where you have a question mark like the casuals do, you coach them a little bit differently because you want to see what they're going to fall for and what are they going to prevail, right? Because when we break down the game, the whole point of us talking, I don't care about the missed shots. I don't care about you making the right play and somebody else missing. I want to see how it looks and how you don't hesitate when it comes to seizing the moment. And seizing the moment looks different to everybody. It's either taking the last shot, being the closer, offensive juggernaut, or making the correct decision where we, kind of give us a lot of praise to LeBron, Magic, Westbrook's making those particular plays. He can do everything. And this is what I love about the kid. And then even despite all that we're talking about with the DHOs, the pin downs, playing horns, he'll lock down your best perimeter player if he is locked in on that particular night. And as long as he brings the effort, that's all you ask for a kid. You can't coach height and you can't coach hard. So
And
he
they had
has
him
heart.
guarding him. Yeah, no,
And
you're
that's
right.
how,
They had him
like, you can
guarding
feel
Bruce
however
Brown
you
last night.
feel.
Yeah,
You can feel however you feel. But when that check ball and the ball roll out, you got to be able to defend in this league. And the reason why I say that is he's a two-way player that's 6'11" with a whole lot of heart and a whole lot to prove. The ceiling may be a little higher for me with Jason Tatum, and there's no knock. But the reason why I write that asterisk is because Jason Tatum's hurt, and then when he comes back this year, I don't even know what he's gonna look like.
That's a fair. Hey, listen, we can get in. Hold on. First off, you said something. I gotta give you a little kickback, man. Our boy Paolo letting us down, man. Our boy Paolo letting us down, man. I don't want to give Cooper Flagg Paolo right now because Paolo in a bad place, man. They saying they need to trade Paolo, man. It's the TikTok streets. You feel me? The TikTok streets. Cool. They saying Franz is better. Bane looking better, man. They talking bad about our boy Paolo, man.
Yeah.
But this is my thing. Even with the Mavericks, just in totality, right? I wanted to see. So last night I watched that game because I wanted to see how they would play against the Nuggets because Anthony Davis not wanting to play the five was really a pointer to me to say I don't want to guard Joker. That's all I heard. When he said I was done playing the five and doing all that, that's just because you don't want to play the Joker. So I
Right.
watched this game to see how they guarded, how they was gonna play him. And he listen, man, ain't no running from Joker, and you gotta guard him. You got to, because Daniel Gafford can't. Let's be clear. Daniel Gafford cannot guard him. He does. Daniel Gafford is a great shot blocker, but AD, I'm sorry, bro. You still got, regardless of where you playing a 4 to 5. If Joker's on the court, and we need you checking him. So
And you
the
can't
reason
hide.
yeah, you can't have, we need you checking him. So what I was looking for though is also with the Mavericks, right? I wanted to see, like, are they becoming a dark horse out in the West, right? Because
Okay.
they started off pretty rough, right? But I'm watching Cooper Flagg start to put it together. Anthony Davis, when he's healthy, man, when he's healthy, right? When he's healthy, I mean, that boy out there getting it. He was at that first half, that first quarter, he was unconscious out there, man. So I wanted to see what the Mavericks would look like with playing against this caliber of team, and with Cooper Flagg and Anthony Davis hitting on all cylinders. And I think if the Mavericks happen to sneak in at 8 or 7, I ain't necessarily so sure. Thunder, Nug, I ain't real sure everybody just beat them, come out unscathed. That's all I'm saying. Because here's my thing with the Mavericks though. They missing Max Christie, because I was gonna say they mentioned missing a bench guy. Max Christie is their, I hate to say their third guy. He's not their third guy, but him and Najee kind of combine and make a third guy for them as far as their production off the bench. They need to have some more production from their second string, so to speak. And but I think the Mavericks the Mavericks sneak in at 8, not 7. I'm just saying.
And listen,
Go ahead though.
so if they do sneak in, the biggest question of the year is if Kyrie comes back, does he hurt or help this program? And before you answer, the easy answer is always going to be, of course he's going to help. But what I'm saying is, this is a very defensive minded, very gritty type of team that we're looking at. And they do have some scorers that can get, going, especially with D'Lo, Najee Marshall, AD, Clay, especially when all these guys do what they need to do. But now, when you are taking the training wheels off now, and it's not just, hey, we're going to tank for another lottery guy, we're actually going to be competitive. It doesn't matter if it's 8, 7, or 6. If we're going to be competitive and you say, hey, Kyrie, we're ready for you, do you like the look of that, or do you want to kind of say, "Hey, man, hold on, bro. I like what we got going on right here. Take your time, and then we will revisit how it looks next year, top of the season."
I think now this is no hate, because y'all know I give Kyrie a lot of flack.
Okay.
I'm not even trying to hate. I'm just being honest. You put Kyrie in there, you take away a lot of shots and a lot of opportunities that
Okay.
Cooper Flagg is getting. I mean, that's just real. Like,
Yeah.
Brandon Williams isn't looking to score. Brandon, with that point guard, he's really fast. I would say that. I want to say this too. Brandon Williams might be faster than De'Aaron Fox with that ball. Oh my God,
Ooh.
he is a lightning fast. But you change out Brandon Williams for Kyrie Irving. We talking about a completely different offense. We talking about a guy who's getting you 5 points to a guy that can get you 25, right? That is a completely different offense, man. So I think it depends on what you're trying to do. If we're trying to win, you got to go with your best players, right? You got to put Kyrie in. If it's just if we're trying to win. But if we're saying, hey, we trying to develop Cooper Flagg, and Cooper Flagg is our future, because for me, again, Anthony Davis get hurt again. Listen, man. Hey, all right, bro. Let's just hang it up. Let's just develop Cooper Flagg. So it depends. To me, it depends on what your goal is as an organization. And for the Mavericks, I think the goal is to win. I don't think they're a losing organization. They're not tanking. The Mavericks have been a playoff team for as long as I can remember. They are trying to win. So for me, you put Kyrie in, and hopefully you can do it sooner than later. That's the only thing. I don't want you trying to put him in or insert him come April, May. If he's not playing by February, like right at All-Star break, don't do it. It's too much.
Right.
It's too much of a learning curve for Cooper Flagg and all these other guys to try to learn to play around these 3 guys. But I like I said, I think you go with your best player. I think you go with your best player, but it may hurt Cooper Flagg more than it hurts the Mavericks. So that's how I feel, man.
And the reason why I'm saying that, because when you got a prolific scorer like Kyrie, where he is very ball dominant and he will get going, and he's very he goes on a burner quick, right? He goes 3, 4, 5, 6 possessions straight, and he wants the ISO position. He wants to be able to break down defenses at a high level. He wants to see where the weak points are, and even though where you say it could hurt Cooper Flag. It could also teach Cooper Flag to pick up on those particular things because then if AD, God forbid, gets hurt, the spacing opens up a little bit more. You got more shooters around you now. They could play KD, Russell Westbrook basketball where it's one two
Yeah,
one two, and
yeah,
let's learn and let's
yeah.
figure this thing out. And
You
and
see,
then
you see, why I say it hurt, Ted, though. Why I say it hurts though is because like last night we don't get to see Cooper Flag do that in the fourth quarter. If you got
no,
Kyrie,
it's all
we don't get to
Kyrie.
see him do that. We don't get to see him become the playmaker and make these good decisions and close the game. We don't get to see that with Kyrie Irving. That's what I'm getting at. We wouldn't even we may not even be having this conversation if Kyrie's on the court because Kyrie's
So
the closer. You know, you go ahead.
yeah,
Yes, sir. What's up?
he is a prolific closer, and I do hope that he is at least three-quarters of the player that he once was before injury. And
Mm-hmm.
with that being said, I want it to be able to be a reality where you can coexist and be three-quarters of who you used to be off the
Right.
ACL, and then still develop your star guy. Because I'm not gonna jump off the porch quite yet, but I do got a lot of love and a lot of expectations for Cooper Flag moving forward. And as long as he continues on his road, you know how Dallas fans give it up, man. Dallas fans are very, very strict. It's kind of like New York, right? Where if you don't go for a championship culture, you a bust, right? And the reason why I say that is
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
Dirk spoiled them boys for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I think y'all know you know where I'm going with this, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if
Yeah,
Cooper
yeah.
Flag continues to progress in 3, 4, 5 years, gets better and better, and then, just off of the luck of the draw, AD, Clay, Kyrie, they all retire, you're gonna be the man, no matter what.
Oh yeah.
And then I will
Oh yeah.
say that they are gonna get pieces around them. They draft really really well, and they are very aggressive in the trade deadlines. So as long as you continue to surround health them, they're gonna expect a championship in the next 4, 5, 6, 7 years. And I'm not sure how it looks because of the talent in the NBA that's spread around. And I think OKC got a lot of things on lock. But that's the perfect talking point. Let's talk about
Go ahead.
OKC and San Antonio. What we doing? What's going on? Let me hear how you wanted to dissect the game. Let me see what you saw. Let me pick your brain for a second and tell me what you saw game 2 of the season, Spurs and OKC.
It it's to me is very telling that they lose against the Spurs again. And this time, the Spurs beat you a completely different way than they beat you the last time, right? Last time we beat you because Wemby and all our defenders. Let me see. Vassell had a really good game, and we just played a good collective defensive game, right? We just strapped up. But this
Scrap
time
game.
we beat y'all. Yeah, scrap again. This time we beat y'all, and it's like Keldon Johnson had 25. Keldon Johnson's like our eighth or ninth man off the bench. Harrison Barnes had 20. Like y'all, we beat y'all this time with guys that wasn't even hitting shots in the last game. You feel me? So for me, it's kind of like, okay, OKC, right? We gotta be real, right? I'm not saying that OKC is still who they are,
Of
and I
course.
don't necessarily know if you hit the emergency button yet. But what I'm saying is, if we play in the Spurs in a 7-game series, we may need to go find a more consistent and reliable scorer than Jaylen Williams. Second option. We may because I talked about this a while ago watching OKC play against the Suns, right? OKC when they beat the Suns by 48, 49, whatever it was, right? I was like, man, these guys are potent. Everybody's doing their thing. The offense, they don't even call plays. I said this. The coach, he's just standing there, right? He's just standing there watching. SGA, hey, they run a screen. Everybody get to a spot. Isaiah Hartenstein, Jalen Williams, the center Jalen Williams, or Chet come up there, set him a screen. SGA do his thing. Well, now we finding out that ain't enough because not only did they lose to the Spurs, right? They also lost to the Timberwolves. We kind of sleep on the fact that the Timberwolves is also a team that y'all got to see. Y'all need more scoring threats on offense. You guys, they hanging their hats on defense, which is great. But last night you gave up 130 points. You got beat by 20. Okay. KD, now you know I always give KD flack. But hey, he said sometimes hey, that offense outweigh that defense. And God dog, last night, 130. That's tough, man. What we doing if the Spurs beat them 3 times? Because they finna play again.
That's all I'm getting ready to
Let's not
ask
go
you,
too far.
right?
Go ahead, Ted.
So we go for Christmas, right? And we created two different blueprints, right? Now the
Right.
first game we created we was down 15. We got real bumpy with those guys. We didn't let SGA get super super comfortable, and he had to really deserve and go get that 30. This go around, he got 33, but it was more of a trailing effort, right? It was where the Spurs' eighth option was the leading scorer. And I want to add a little bit of context for the people that rock with OKC because I'm not going to be blind to this. AJ Mitchell was not playing because of concussion protocol. But I've said this earlier, and it's easy to kind of like, oh, Teddy boy, you tripping. I said AJ Mitchell may be more of a fluid scorer than J Dub. So if you kind of just get the training wheels out of there and let AJ Mitchell have more burn, more responsibility on the offense end, I think it may look differently. I'm not sure if that's going to save it because I don't know how much better J Dub is than AJ Mitchell or vice versa. I think obviously you go to free agency, see what you can do. But then also you ask yourself, what option can I get out there offensively that will solve these issues that can still fill into this program to be able to be at least a defensive help? Because at the end of the day, you don't want to change what the blueprint is of what made you successful, but you also don't want to burn SGA out. The only reason why I say this is because I've seen this before. I've seen where teams like James Harden's Rockets, where just one player killing and everybody else just taking heed and understanding that they're gonna get the ball eventually.
Mhm.
And then with Steph Curry struggling now, like these teams struggle no matter how good the number one option is. If you don't have that second or third option offensively to take advantage and help you out, you will get burnt out over the span of 82 games, and you'll get burnt
Mhm.
out with the long postseason. Because if OKC has aspirations, which I know that they do, to be able to go back to back, that's a minimum of 4, 8, 12, 16 games. And that's if you sweep everybody. So then
Yep.
if you don't sweep everybody and games go 7, that's 28 games when you rub your eyes. Plus the
Mhm.
82 that you're playing. So it doesn't matter how great SGA is doing. If you don't give him the offensive production and help to be able to support what he does, he will burn out. He's an excellent scorer. He's having a phenomenal season. He's one of the best scorers I've ever seen in my life, but he's a human. And if you don't give him the help, it's gonna bite you in the behind later. That's what I'm telling you.
Mhm. Yeah, and we got to see that a little bit in the Pacers when they played the Pacers in the finals. It was a couple of times where we strapped them. They strapped. I say we. The Pacers strapped him up, and Jalen Williams had to. He got that 40-point game. Hey, listen. His career hanging on that 40-point game by a thread right now. Not his career, but I'm just saying his position.
And I
Now,
don't like you guys
yeah,
holding on to that narrative
we
because
hold
what
it.
I'm saying is every time I see this guy, he's doing what we joked Evan Mobley about. Evan Mobley does 18 and 8, and we say, man, he is so good. He has so much potential, and I get so frustrated with him. And then you tell me sometimes we got to leave people where they at. And I said, bro, what you mean by that, EJ? So for the people that's listening, we got to leave people where they at. We're so used to people being so extraordinary and phenomenal, and then we kind of promote a lot of people that are the helping weapons. J Dub just might just be just a really good player. I don't think he is in the greats or the elites or anything like that. And I think he's a product of SGA. And I do know that he has had a lot of good games in the finals. But for him to be your number two option, I'm scared moving forward to seeing teams like the Timberwolves and the Spurs because they got the blueprint. And if you mess around and go down 0-3 to a team, now they got your mind, they got your mental. Now you're thinking about that. And you can say you're not worried about it, but you are. You are because before they took the losses to the Spurs twice and the Timberwolves, they were about to go do something that we ain't never seen before. They probably had inside 5 losses at the end of the season. They might have had something so ignorant in regards to winning record. Now, if you have more L's than the Chicago Bulls team, and then also with the Golden State, now what are you gonna say? Because
Yeah,
that was the aspiration. You wanted to beat that. Don't lie.
yeah.
So
No,
if you
no, that's
continue to play them, you lose again, and then you lose the fourth game, and then you go against the Timberwolves, and then you lose, 2 or 3 games out of their 4 times that you play them.
a fact. Listen. Here's a name. Here's a name that I like that I'm hoping that everybody can mess with, man. There's a boy down there in New Orleans. New Orleans down there making some changes down there. Now, New Orleans at the point now, they done put all their starters on the bench. Zion Williamson, DeJounte Murray, and the name that I like, Jordan Poole. If you can go get a guy like Jordan Poole come off the bench for you, he can be that guy to come get you that 20, 25 that you need. Why Jordan Poole? Well, We seen what he did with the Warriors in 2023. We know got what it take to win. We know he can be on a team and win. We know he has that type of production. Go get Jordan Poole for whatever you go get her one of them picks. I know y'all got hopes to get AJ DeBanza and all that. If you can go get somebody off the bench like Jordan Poole, I'm just saying, I like it. That's just me personally, though. Again, I don't want to sound the alarm. I don't want to sound the alarm, but their offense lacks creativity.
Okay.
Just plain and simple. It lacks creativity. We know SGA is doing this. We're just gonna help off. We don't mind if Lou Dort's gonna beat her. The people literally have this mindset with SGA and them. If Lou Dort is gonna beat us, cool. If Chet's gonna beat us, then cool. They're living and letting that happen. We're guarding SGA. So come playoff time, that floor spacing gonna start to do this. It's gonna start to do this, and you can't do that with Jordan Poole. I don't care how much of a sporadic player he is. If Jordan Poole's out there, you got creativity. You got somebody that can knock down shots. That I'm just saying. That's what I got for OKC.
So you think that the pool party will save it?
I think he could save it. I think you get Jordan Poole out there, I ain't worried about nothing no more.
And the reason why I asked you that is what makes you so hesitant of actually going to go get that starter named Trey Murphy then? You think he costs too much?
Oh no, I'm not. Listen, if you can go get Trey Murphy, please, by all means. Because then to me, Trey Murphy kind of fits the personality type
and the defending type.
Yeah, absolutely. You go get Trey Murphy. I'm high on Trey Murphy, but I saw that the Spurs were trying to get Trey Murphy. He's kind of popped up on their list. So yeah. So
but a person like Trey Murphy going on either of those programs, you might as well just cancel Christmas. Yeah. I can guarantee you that if you get somebody of Trey Murphy's blueprint, OKC is going to be solidified as having him as the number 2 option. He's already going to probably be one of the best defenders on OKC, which is full of defenders. And then if you go to the Spurs and you got Wemby, Trey Murphy,
Harper. Get Harrison Barnes the fuck out of here. Get Harrison Barnes out of here. Put Trey Murphy right there. That's a great.
You solved so many issues. Yes. And then now this is what's going on. Wemby. It's going to be iced out crazy. Yeah. So I like that name, and the reason why I like that name so much is because now New Orleans is so confused that now they're starting to like Zion again. Zion is starting to do his thing. Zion is in the press conference praising Derek Queen, praising Jeremiah Fears. It's cool, and they want to use him as the locker room guy. They don't really have a lot of love for Trey Murphy. Trey Murphy was a emerging star because of everybody else got hurt. You know what I'm saying? So they don't really have a lot of love for him. He wasn't a high draft pick. They didn't think that he was going to be this good, and they may think that he's a product of the system. And they will be very, very, very wrong if they go ahead and make that decision.
I think this too, though. I think they're doing it though because I think they're trying to light a fire down there under Zion. Either A, we're trying to light a fire, or B, we think Derek Queen is better than you. I'm talking about Zion Williamson at this point. Now, if again it's different. When you're the guy, we ain't got no choice. Well, we just found out this season, both for LaMelo Ball and for Zion Williamson, you can be replaced. We can go get Kon Knueppel and get that production and none of that drama. We can go get Derek Queen and none of that, off the court shit Zion got going on. We got a guy that's all business, right? So then I look and I say, shoot, I got Jeremiah Fears at my point. I got Derek Queen at my center. Maybe we need to start moving some stuff around. Maybe we need to start. That's why you got 3 starters. DeJounte Murray, Zion Williams, and Jordan Poole are going to be coming off the bench for New Orleans. We talking about they bottom of the West. This ain't even, but you got 3 starters. So I think Joe Dumars was out there and said, hey, man, hey, Zion, I know you think you the man and it's cute. We happy to have you, bro. But we're gonna go with this. We like the way this looks. And I think it takes for him to see that, for him to realize, oh, they not playing with me no more. Oh, yeah. You need to produce something or play us something because, bro, we can't keep having these are multi-million, billion-dollar organizations, bro. We're not gonna keep spending money and wasting our time trying to develop you, and you ain't got the work ethic to go out there and get better. So let's light this fire under your ass and shit. Actually, we don't even care about it no more. If you don't want to be here, hey, we good. I'm just saying.
I just watched that same program give up BI for nothing.
Yeah.
And if you tell me that BI wasn't the best player for the last 2 years since he was in New Orleans, then you're crazy. So if BI can get shopped to Toronto and go do whatever he wants to and move freely over there, What makes you think that you're safe? And this is what I tell you this all the time, bro. The window of success is a lot smaller than what we even think. We get displayed in 4K to be able to watch these particular players, these top 15, top 20 guys where they all have a chance to win, right? Because we in an era where there's no fun stoppers. Every year, I don't know who the hell is going to be the champion. Every year, I don't know. It's always going to look different. There's going to be traumatic injuries. There's going to be a lot of trades. There's going to be a lot of coaching movement, all that, right? I don't know who's going to be the Steph Currys, the Tim Duncans, the LeBron James. We don't have that in this generation. So when you have the opportunity to take advantage of people, God forbid, getting injured, people playing bad and disappearing in the playoffs, if you don't take advantage of this particular narrative, you may never see a banner no matter how good you are. And what's going to happen to you 20, 30 years later when we are at our E Lab mansion and we're looking down and saying,
Mm.
he was a hell of a player, but he never figured it out.
Never figured it out, nigga. Hey, especially with this class coming in, right? You find out with this freshman class, these I say freshman class, but this rookie class that's coming in, that you cannot be complacent in the NBA. I don't care how good you think you are. I'm sorry. You cannot just go, oh man, I'm that dude. Nobody ever thinks it's gonna be them. That's the problem. Nobody ever thinks that I'm gonna be the guy that's only gonna be in the league for 3 years. And what you find out is, Kon Knueppel is nowhere near the talent that LaMelo Ball is. But no matter what, when we need him to play, we got 28 games on the schedule, and he done played 28 games so far and producing it the way he do. Yeah, nah, man, we good, bro. Maybe we were wrong about you. Maybe we're reevaluating what matters to our organization. And you get two guys like Kon Knueppel and Derek Queen who are all work, no play. Hey, hey Zion, hey LaMelo, you guys are two of the most talented people in this generation of basketball. Getting replaced by two unathletic dudes. Both of these guys are below the rim and wasn't highly touted coming out. That people passed on Derek Queen. We really didn't have much expectation for Kon Knueppel, and here they are being the faces of our franchise. Maybe we need to reevaluate what we care about here, and that's what you're seeing.
And that's what I'm telling you.
Go ahead.
To piggyback on what you're saying, name more than 5 small forwards that's position is safe from AJ next year.
It ain't many. It definitely ain't 5.
So the point that I'm saying is right. So everybody that feel like they're getting things figured out and you are molding into whoever this person is that you want to be, and you saying, "Oh yeah, I'm a lockout here, bro. I'm better than these particular people, right? I'm the best small forward in this particular team because it's either point guard heavy or power forward heavy or whatever the case, and I can kind of hide in this program." And they roll the dice, boom, they roll the dice and say, your team has the number 1 draft pick, and we're looking at AJ, and he's a small forward, and you're a small forward. You're shaking in your boots, and that's what I'm saying. You can be as complacent as you want to be, but there's not many people that can be Vince Carter. And the reason why I say Vince Carter is because he was the best dunker in game all time. He had a really good career when it came to hitting the three. He kind of slowed down the athleticism, and he kind of was just the molded guy. He just goes to these particular teams, and he's the veteran thing. They're not going to give you that chance. They're not going to give you that grace. I done seen people that were number 1 defenders, number 1 steals, number 1 like it's this one guy, Matisse Thybulle. He was one of the best on-ball defenders I've ever seen.
Yeah.
For Philly, right? This is when he was with Ben Simmons and all those guys, and it was trust the process. Then they figure out he ain't got a gun. And they figure out you ain't got a gun, you can get 500 steals. We don't give a damn. If you can't get the ball in the basket,
that bucket. Yeah, man.
Then what happened? Jared McCain came through. Tyrese Maxey came through. Paul George got traded, and they said, I don't need you, brother. And he is now a journeyman. And what I'm saying is, your spot is not safe if you are not a generational talent. But even then, when we say this is the criteria to be a generation talent, I watched Luka get traded for AD when AD's never even available. Nobody in this league is safe, EJ. Nobody.
That's the great answer right there. If Luka can get traded, so can you. That needs to be the bar for everybody.
If you can look me in my face and think that you are remotely close to Luka, and Luka's averaging 35 points at the time, and you could get traded for somebody that's never even available, aka street clothes, you're not safe. You're not
You're not
safe.
safe. You're not safe, man. That's a fact. That's a fact. Where you want to go, man? I'm following you, big dog. Where we going?
I think with that particular being said, do we actually have a clear MVP this year? Are you quite sure with what's going on? And the reason why I say that is because Luca's having a generational year. 35
Mhm.
points, averaging a triple double. He's showing that he's just as good, or if not better, to some people, score
Okay.
than SGA. Then you got SGA with the God given defensive team, and he doesn't have to really work that hard. He just has to get buckets, and he's getting
Okay.
30. Or you got somebody like Joker, where they're getting that championship DNA back into that program, and they're gonna try to make a run, and he's out there doing generational, unheard of crap, triple doubles in his sleep. Like, do you have a clear MVP this year?
Do I have a clear one? No.
Yes.
Do I know who 1 and 2 is? Yes. Well,
Okay.
1 and 2. Matter of fact, I give you my five. I got five actually.
Let's
One,
see.
I still got SGA. I still got SGA.
No
SGA is
problem.
doing his thing. I mean, I can't ask for SGA to do any more than what he's doing.
Okay.
Two is Joker. Joker's still phenomenal. I question his assist. I question his assist. But
Okay.
that's me being a hater. My three, Jaylen Brown. Let me get Jaylen Brown right there.
Jaylen Brown. He's playing phenomenal this year. But go ahead.
My four is Cade. My five is Jaylen Brunson. So
Wow.
know that,
Oh.
yeah. Let's get into it.
Oh. I see how you
Yeah,
did that.
yeah. Let's get into it. Let's get
I like
into
how
it.
you did that.
Because people ain't talking about Jaylen Brown and it's pissing me off. Okay. Jaylen Brown, this Celtics team should not be as good as they are. And if I'm being quite honest, they're not good. Jaylen Brown is good. Jaylen Brown is amazing. And there is not a night where Jaylen Brown can take a game off and they win. So what does that tell you? He been showing up 25 games every night this season. Jaylen Brown has shown up. Top 5 in scoring. He's number 3. He's top 3 in every statistical stat on the team. He's top 3 in it. Every day. So for me, I got Jaylen Brown. Let me just be clear. I got Jaylen Brown over Luka Doncic in the MVP race. Let me just get that. There you go. My bad. Let me just say it. Let me just say it.
Because
But he
there's
hooping,
no
man. He
time
hooping.
and place where Luka Doncic could take off and not play well, and AR and LeBron convincingly do the things. You know what I'm saying? Like the reason why I'm saying is with Luca and AR. Excuse me. Let me dial it back. AR has averaged 30 and coexisted with Luka Doncic scoring 35, and they still lost. Jaylen Brown has to do what he's doing in order for them to even be remotely competitive. He cannot take any days off. The other day when Luka Doncic had 15 points, if if Jaylen Brown decides to do that, they're gonna get blown out by 40. And
Easily.
I've already talked about this. Derek White is a phenomenal player. He has been playing better since I gave him a lot of critique, but he is not a clear number two option. They
That's a
are
fact.
putting their fingers together and saying, "Bro, Jason Tatum, please come back. Please come back immediately." But even then, I have the same exact question for you: Is
Mhm.
Jason Tatum going to step on the work?
No, I don't think Jason. I don't think you had that problem. I don't think you had that problem with this team. Now, if this was last year's team with Porzingis and Drew, you feel me? They had a lot more guys. They were spreading the ball around a lot more. I would say yes. But if Jaylen Brown was playing the way he is now last year without Jason Tatum, then yes, because he is the vocal point of their offense right now. But with the
Okay.
team that they got right now, Gonzalez and number 88, they got a bunch of guys who
Arza.
they Luke Garza. I was just about to say Luke Garza playing. I was talking to my boy Tim Clowney this morning. We was talking about it how we gotta think about this. So first, my bad. Let me answer your question. Jason Tatum comes back, you get more of a two-headed monster. I
Okay.
think I think Jason Tatum comes back. I like the Celtics to come out of the East.
Woo!
I think Jaylen Brown is playing that well. If Jason Tatum can come back and be who he was last year at 25, 26 a game, 27, up in that rank, I think they come out of these because I don't really believe in Detroit. But let me not go too far. Jaylen Brown. Again, talking to my boy Clowney, and we was talking about how Jaylen Brown has proved that he's the number one option, but he
Okay.
brought up the point. This is the point, though. Jason Tatum, even though Jaylen Brown is a number one option and we like, hey, he can do it. This number one option role is way different than the number one option role that Jason Tatum had. He's not Jaylen Brown ain't getting the same looks that Jason Tatum gets. This ain't, oh, I got five other guys around me that can score. I got ISO plays. This is I'm the only guy out here and the team is focused on me. This is a completely different one option than what Jason Tatum is doing. And I must say, Jaylen Brown is performing even better than Jason Tatum was as that. You feel what I'm saying? So
that boy
Jaylen
dropping
Brown's on the court.
bombs.
Jaylen Brown on the court with nobody. Jaylen Brown on the court with I got three nobodies and two good role players. I got Derek White and Peyton Pritchard because that's what Derek White is. He's a role player.
And that's how bad Simons is playing. He's so invisible even with the trade. You didn't bring up Anthony Simons one time.
Because he's I mean, I would say
he's mid.
He say he's not because he's the second leading scorer off the bench this season in total points. He is. He's solid. But ultimately, my point is not to hate on or not to shit on Simons, but it's to big up Jaylen Brown because no matter what they do, they all go. Jaylen Brown is the motor. He is the engine. If I'm not doing this, I can't count on Derek White to go get 35 and win me a game. If I'm not doing this, I can't count on Peyton Pritchard to consistently give me 25 and 30. And no matter what happens, if Jaylen Brown isn't playing well, we don't win. Jason Tatum has never been in that situation. Jason Tatum has never been in the finals against the Mavericks. I didn't play well at all, and we won.
I Jaylen Brown 10 points in the finals, and we won the entire game.
Jaylen Brown ain't got that luxury. He don't have that luxury at all. Jaylen Brown scored 10 points. We losing by 20. Flat.
Let me stop you there. Let me stop you there and ask you a question. So you taking this JB season over Jason Tatum 30-point season easy?
Absolutely.
Ooh.
Absolutely.
Just had to get that out.
I'm taking it absolutely again, but for the sake of he's doing it by himself. He's doing it by himself, and he's also still a lockdown defender. I'm also still strapping up out here. So the game ain't got a lot of two-way players no more. Jaylen Brown is one of them. It ain't a lot of two-way players. Jaylen Brown's one of them. Yeah.
And he's the best two-way player in the East.
Facts. Why you keep saying East and not the NBA?
I want to say because I think that Wemby's still alive. I think that Wemby has a edge in regards to the impact that he has defensively, but the way that JB is playing this year, I may not be so sure how I talk that noise.
I'm not mad at that. Hold on, somebody in the comments. My bad. Free Take K said we sleeping on Pritchard. Walsh has also been stepping up. You're right, Free Take K. Walsh has been stepping up. But what I'm saying is Walsh. I'm sorry, not Walsh. Free Take K. That off, bro. The Celtics are 90% predicated on Jaylen Brown doing well. That's all I'm saying. That's the ultimate what I'm saying. I'm not trying to step on Pritchard, Walsh, Simon, none of those guys. I'm just saying that Jaylen Brown is playing phenomenal because we came in with question marks about, well, he can't dribble with his left hand, and we don't know if he can be a number one option. Well, if he is good with one hand, I can only imagine if he can dribble with two. I can only fucking imagine because we talking about something different. So, but my bad, but I just want to address Free Take K. But Ted, the reason I say I don't think he's a better two-way defender than Wemby. Well,
hey,
two-way player. Well,
we're here. Jump off the porch, then, big dog.
Jaylen Brown is a way better bucket than Wemby.
I mean, 28 to 25 make me way better bucket, but
29. Top 5 scorer in the league. Top 5 scorer in the league.
And efficient.
There you go. So that's why I'm like, me.
And I'm available.
And I'm playing.
Because you can play all this mysterious when he's playing. We can say that, right? When he's playing, he's obviously if I don't like them particular words. Is he gonna lace up or not? And that is what JB has done. JB has been an anchor. JB has been the two-way player of his franchise. JB has won the Finals MVP, and JB is answering a lot of questions that Boston may have moving forward. So unintentionally. I've already been 8 years with you, right? I've been 8 years. We've been riding with each other, rocking with each other, all that. And we only have one chip to show for it.
Mm.
We have two appearances, but we got one chip to show for it. If JB continues to play at a high level the way that he does, JC comes back and he steps on the work, and they have a underwhelming performance moving forward.
Okay.
Is
Okay.
JT on that trading block?
Nah, I don't think we trade him. It's to me, I would never be for trading a top 5 MVP candidate.
Okay.
I would never, I wouldn't do that because ultimately, what are you trying to do? Who are you trying to get? That if you're trading Jason Tatum, right? Before let's be real, just be straightforward. I'm bigging up Jaylen Brown because people have been hating on Jaylen Brown. Jason Tatum, when he's playing, is an MVP candidate. He's a top 5 player in the league. So the only way he gets on the trading block is if for some reason they start to bump heads. That's Jaylen Brown and Tatum. They start to bump heads because Jaylen Brown now is like, I'm better than because Jaylen Brown now, again, I
Can
said
you
what
say
I'm gonna
that?
say.
Can you say that?
He can go in that office and be like, bro, he had Al Horford, Drew Holiday, and Kristaps Porzingis. I got Luke Garza, Derek White, and number
After the
88.
signs.
What we talking about? You feel me? So I'm just saying he could go. So that's the only way I'm trading Tatum or either one of them if there's like turmoil or something behind the scenes that we're not privy to. But ultimately, nah, man. Jason Tatum is gonna retire Celtics. They both should retire Celtics. There should be again, there have to be something dramatic that happens that we can't foresee that for them to trade. So I
It's
would
got to be like some RJ Davis,
yeah,
Kobe, RJ
yeah,
Davis type of thing
yeah.
with
Something
UNC.
crazy. Facts,
Yeah.
facts, something like that. Something like that. Yeah, or what's my man? D'Angelo Russell and what's his name? What
Nick
was he?
Young.
Nick Young, something like that. Yeah, but otherwise, nah. We good. We good.
Okay.
Jason Tatum is
Well,
a Celtic for life, bro. Yeah, big
other
dog.
than that, man, I'm pretty much good, man. I just wanted to be able to cover
Oh, you
particular
good?
topics.
Hold on, man. Now you out of here. Let's get into this. Let's get into this Giannis versus Tim Duncan, man. What you got to say, man? What's up? What's up, man? Because you've been talking crap. You've been saying everything to me on face. What's up, man? Before we get up out of here, man. What's up? You want me to say it? I say it first for the people who listening. Giannis Antetokounmpo ain't even in the same stratosphere as Tim Duncan. It ain't even close. He is a top 25 player. So when I say stratosphere, Tim Duncan to me is a top 5 player all time. The second stratosphere is top 10. The third stratosphere is top 20. And then Giannis is somewhere in there, that 20.
I think you're lying. I think you're lying. I think you're lying. So first and foremost, shout out Timmy, bro. Shout out Big Fundamental, man. You got the 5 chips, could have got 6. All those talking points that you're probably gonna say. 5 chips, a lot of defensive anchors, first teams. He's a phenomenal player. But there is none of the chips that he has on his hand that he could say that he had to work as hard as Giannis is one chip.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is when we talk about player for player, you got to be able to bring up the winning culture first. I want to get that out the way. That was my first talking point. Tim Duncan is one of the best winners we've ever seen. He literally was the power forward version of Jordan if Ray Allen never hits that game winner. Like it hurts to say that, but I also will not be blind to the fact that Tim Duncan did have help in regards to the system, but he was the number one predicated player out of that system. He was the particular system. I'm not going to sit there and deny none of that. But what I'm
Okay.
saying is circumstances have to matter when you talk engage particular players of that greatness. And the reason why I say that is the Spurs spoiled Tim Duncan to be able to have everything that he wanted. In that particular era, you wanted knockdown shooters. You wanted to be able to have 3 pointers, to be able to have the floor spacing that they wanted. He continued to have a hell of a Robin in Tony Parker. He had a really great third option in Monte Ginobili.
Okay.
Nobody besides Damian Lillard for that 1 year even comes close to Giannis in regards. I mean, excuse me, Giannis's, or excuse me, Tim Duncan's teammates.
Got you. The help.
The help is depleted, and even with Damian Lillard being the player that he was from Portland,
Okay.
it didn't work out. And it's okay to say that you put two really good players on the team, and it did not work out. So, other than that, like he didn't have any complementary pieces when he needed it the most, and it didn't help him. That's why he wants to get traded. You never heard Tim Duncan say, "Yeah." we didn't make the playoffs, that deep playoffs run. I want to get up out of here. No, because why? Him, Hall of Fame Greg Popovich, Tony Parker, Boris Diaw, all that work that's around him, DeJuan Blair. It's always been plug and play players that were willing to buy into what he had going on, the winning culture. He has never seen a losing season in his life.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
he's always been around that chance.
I
Every
got you.
year is a chance.
So let me be
Yep.
clear. So you have him in the stratosphere, but you don't have him better. Do you? Or
No,
what
no.
you? Okay, you
See,
ain't got him
so
better.
so me
All right.
being a Giannis fan will not dilute my vision to know that Tim Duncan is a better player. But for you to
Okay.
say two stratospheres away is kind of insane to me. That's fine. Listen. What we do here, we argue and we agree to disagree. But what I'm saying is, if we're talking about strictly players, I watched Greek Freak drop the 50 ball in the finals as a closeout game. Yep, it rolled them eyes. I got you. And then two back-to-back 40 pieces. Bruh.
Against who?
Tim Dun-
Who's guarding?
DeAndre Ayton.
Fuck, I don't even like DeAndre Ayton. Fucking talking about. You know, Tim Duncan would have gave DeAndre Ayton 60. DeAndre fucking Ayton.
Tim
DeAndre had to be fouled out of the game, man. What are we talking about, man?
Tim Duncan had Joel Anthony guarding him with the
Joe,
Miami Heat.
they had a lot. They had a lot of trash people trying to guard him. They had him trying. But hold on, that's 2014. Hold on, you going too far. That's 2014, Tim Duncan. First off, we got to go back to 1999, right? Because you talk
Right.
about shooting. Ain't no shooters on that 1999, 2003 team.
It's just that
Ain't nobody shoot. Ain't
he's
nobody
fresh.
shooting
He's
back then.
fresh out of Wake Forest.
2000. So then we talk about competition. I brought this up because
Mhm.
I don't really like to go accolades because they both have really great accolades, and I
Okay.
understand that some of them are team accomplishments. But the accolade that stands out to me is 2002 MVP, 2003 MVP in an era where Shaquille O'Neal, Shaq, Iverson. There's a lot of good work out there. There's a lot of good talent out there. Where Tim Duncan is just being the best player to me. He's just being the best player. So when you talk about Giannis having to work hard for his championship, you know he had to work hard for his championship, man. And I hate to do this because it's my boy. Man, they played the Hawks. They played the Hawks in the Eastern Conference Finals, bro. Who we had? Clint Capella? What we doing? Clint Capella? The Heat. Okay, Bam. I give you Bam. They swept Bam. Them. They played KD, who we know. Not we know. I know ain't gonna get it done. So I was never. Everybody else thought they was good. KD's on the court. You ain't getting it done. I'm sorry. So then they go to the Hawks, and then they played the. So that was the easiest championship in the last 10 years. That was the easiest championship in the last 10 years, and that's the only thing he got to hold. That's the only thing. So for me, what I have not necessarily my argument with you, but my argument with people in general is
Uh-huh.
that they don't value the way that Tim Duncan scores, or they talk to me about points per game, right? Giannis has averaged 35 and is that the third. I said, well, you got to remember back then when Tim is playing, when the team scored 100 points, the offense was on fire. That was a great game offensively, scoring 100 points. But if you go back and look at those games, bro, 90% of from those championship games, now 19 those playoffs and stuff, Tim Duncan is the leading scorer on his team in 90 to 95% of those games. It's
Mhm.
easy for y'all to talk, not y'all, it's easy for people to talk to me about, oh, well, Tony Parker got the finals MVP. Yeah, he did in 4 games. They played 4 games. He outplayed Tim Duncan for 4 games. What about the other 98? What about the other 98 that it took to get there, bro? So that's why I'm like people sleep on Tim Duncan, and that's why I was finding it. You know, they was pissing me off. But
But I
one,
think with
go ahead.
Tim Duncan is a prestigious player. Tim Duncan is one of those people where you can hate on the play style, you can hate on situations, circumstances, the fact that he had a Hall of Fame coach. But at the end of the day, he was one of the best, if not the best, two-way player for probably 15 years straight. And nobody hesitated to even think about that and question that, right? When you have Giannis, and he was in his early buck years. Like, he was the defensive player of the year, but then you also have question marks and say, hey, can you tell me that he was a better two-way player than prime Kawhi Leonard? And then everybody's scratching their head and saying, whatever, right? You didn't have that doubt. And then also, like you were saying, you
Yeah.
win the MVP with Kobe, Iverson, T Mac, Vince Carter, Shaq, Ticket. Those are Dirk. These are players that Nash. The name just keep popping up as I'm thinking, right? And then you go into another area where you beat teams that they consider dynasties. You were competitive with teams, the three-peat Lakers. You were competitive and you go ahead and smacked up on the Nets. You played the Pistons and things of that nature. You played all these particular teams throughout regular seasons or when you see them in the playoffs and finals and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
you created a dynasty by beating dynasties. Giannis never created a dynasty. Giannis created a narrative to have one of the easiest playoff roads into a championship, which I agree with you. But I think that you still have to show up and play because a lot of things that you say have truth to both players. You said, oh, well, he's played DeAndre Ayton. Okay, name one defender that Tim Duncan had to go against in his finals that probably was a better defender than DeAndre Ayton. Even though we have DeAndre Ayton slated a little bit lower than most of these top defenders that have played the center and power forward position, most of that work that Tim Duncan was getting was against some underwhelming names, right? And
In the finals, baby. Maybe in the finals, because I
but
can't
that's what I'm
recall
saying.
who was
That's
in
what
there.
I'm getting at, right? That's
Oh,
what I'm
wait a
getting
minute.
at.
It was one of they was Kenyon Martin out there? Kenyon Martin might be one of, I think he their favorite player. Kenyon Martin might have been out there in 2003. But anyway, I'm listening to you. My bad.
So
Go
you
ahead.
got
I hear
Kenyon
you.
Martin out there. You tell me to my face what Giannis would do to that man.
Well, according to them, not much, I guess.
You're drunk and you need
Let
to
me
get drug
see.
you need to get drug
Let me
tested.
check this. They played. They did. It was the Nets. I thought so. They played
So
the
so
Nets in
and then they
2003. That's what it was.
and that's when Tony Parker was killing Jason Kidd.
Yeah.
So that was the best defender that you had in most of the championships that you played against, and that was your worst series against somebody of stature of Kenyon Martin, right? He was a shot blocker. He was a freak
He got
athlete.
Pat. He got Pat Ewing too, bro. He got the back end of Pat Ewing.
That
1999. They
that
played.
wasn't no prime Pat.
No, that's the back end. Yeah, he was on his way to the Raptors, I think,
Giannis,
by then.
Giannis smoke prime DeAndre Ayton. I know that's not saying much. You know what I'm saying? But it's just all circumstances, things where the truth lies in both situations. But at the end of the day, when you go totality, tally for tally, Tim Duncan clears Giannis in every single category when it comes to winning. Um, two-way player, grit,
Yeah, Pat ain't it.
leader,
Yeah, Pat ain't it.
creating dynasties. Like Tim Duncan does everything the right way. Tim Duncan doesn't do nothing the way that we want him to do it, right? Tim Duncan is not flashy. Tim Duncan is not above the rim. I mean, he was a little bit at Wake Forest and in his early years at San Antonio, but Tim Duncan does not do nothing that the regular consumer wants to watch.
Yeah, facts.
Like I can
No, that's
guarantee you, if those Spurs played at 10:30, 90%
mhm.
of the people that's watching is sleep by halftime. It was a
Oh yeah.
very boring
They probably
offense.
wouldn't need no TV. Yeah, that's a fact.
So it's real,
Let me
real
see.
boring.
Sid, before we go, because I know you're going to do Christmas games. Let's just do a quick hit.
All
Quick
right, let's go.
hit predictions, Christmas games before you get up out of here.
Let's
All
go.
right. So we got Cavs Knicks.
I got Knicks, man. JB in 3, man. JB in 4. You know how I'm rocking.
Yeah, that. Oh, Spurs Thunder again.
I want
Spurs
to rock
Thunder.
with the Spurs so bad, but I got OKC getting their face back.
Okay, so getting okay, okay. And what's my boy? Wimby kind of been talking heavy. Wimby, they said, "Do you see Chet as a robbery?" He said, "Well, not in basketball." I said, "Well, of course." Hey, listen, Wimby been talking kind of crazy lately. All
Hey,
right,
Chet got to show me something.
Chet got to show. He got now. You want to talk about somebody needing to get their face back? Listen, I know you got that championship, but listen, Wimby is like a couple tiers above you, and
That's why Abe Lincoln only had one presidential term. History
oh man, all
repeats
right, look,
itself, right?
history repeating itself. That's a fact. Look, Mass Warriors.
I got Mavs. They
I got
playing
Mavs
ball.
too. Yeah, I got Mavs too. Then Rockets Lakers at 8 p.m. Rockets Lakers.
I got Lakers by. I mean, excuse me. I got Rockets by double digits.
You got Rockets by double digits. Is that with Luca or without Luca?
Don't matter.
Oh, okay. I'm going Lakers. I got if Luca play, I got the Lakers. If Luca play, I
Okay.
got Lakers.
So
And
who
then
you
last
got for
one
the
is
other teams?
for the other ones. I agree with you on the Knicks. I had something to say about the Knicks. I mean, not the Knicks, but the Cavs. Darius Garland came out and said that he want to get his own team. They said he's having aspirations, like he's tired of playing with Donovan Mitchell. I don't know. I would have to see.
You're gonna see how difficult it is to play without a star.
Everybody always think it's sweet. Shit is out there. Then you got to go do it by yourself. It's way different when we're planning for Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley, and
It's
then you're
Kyrie
kind of
2.0. Kyrie 2.0.
yeah, bro. It get real different out there. But I got the Knicks, and then Spurs Thunder. I'm riding with Spurs, man. I'm riding with Wemby, man. I believe. I'm starting to believe. I'm starting to believe that and I think Wemby cares more. The way he's talking makes me feels like I appreciate his hatred for the Thunder. Like I appreciate that he like I don't like them. You know, we always ask that question in the interview. Who are some people that you woke up and you was like, I can't wait to cook their ass? Wemby got that energy for the Thunder, and I
Okay.
like
Well,
it. I
do it.
like it.
Do it in the playoffs too.
That
If
is a
you go ahead
fact.
and spank them in Christmas, spank them when you see in the playoffs and have that same energy for 4+
That
games.
matters way more on me. On me. Mavs, Warriors, I agree. Warriors. So let me say this a little bit, man. Warriors piss me off. Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr pisses me off because Pods sucks, and you keep telling me that Will Richards can't play because Pod got seniority. Get Pod's ass off the floor. Let Will Richards get some minutes, right? Will Richards is playing 18 minutes a game, right? 50% from the floor, 40% from the three. With the limited amount of time that he has, he may take only 4 shots, but goddamn, if 50-40 is not enough to get you on the court, and we're 15-15, what do you want me to do? Like to me, Steve Kerr, you know how they talk about like practice and working hard to get you to that point, and like you just got to do this, and then you get to a guy like Steve Kerr, and it's like, yeah, it's not about none of that. I just Pod been here longer. This ain't a corporate job. This ain't I'm trying to get promoted to the next level. This is about production. Like we in a game where we need to win. The Warriors organization isn't a losing franchise anymore, bro. And what you're doing has us losing. So why are we okay with the norm? Like why when did it become okay to just be good enough? Like what is this? Like but anyway, that I'm sorry, that just pissed me off. But Steve Kerr
No,
pissed
it's
me off with
good
that statement. He pissed me off with that statement. I
because
got
I
the
can
Mavericks
I
because
can
I
I
just
can
yeah, just
piggyback on it.
yeah.
Let's just. Oh my god. See, now you're gonna get me started, but my phone on 10%, so I ain't gonna go too far.
Okay.
Bro, I love what these particular coaches have done for their programs and did
Mhm.
in their peak years of coaching, aka having God given talent on their teams. LeBron, Wade, Ray Allen, Chris Bosh, Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson. Like now we're seeing that these coaches are really not that good coaches. When you are forced and your back is against the wall to be able to adjust with lesser talent, and you got championship caliber players. You got Jimmy Butler that's been to the finals twice without that work and that help, right? So you got somebody that knows how to win. You got Steph Curry that's been doing what he needs to be doing. But ever since Clay has left that program, ever since KD has left that program, the Warriors have been underachieving, and he gets hidden behind those championships with KD and Curry's primes, the years in the Oracle, where they don't want to show the reality now. So you're saying, well, how are you going to ration that somebody can get more playing time than me because they're more senior than me, but they aren't better than me? It doesn't make any sense, and it never will. Just because it's coming from a coach's mouth doesn't mean that it holds weight, and that's what people need to realize. Because you are at particular positions, you get held at a higher standard, but that doesn't mean what you say have truth behind it either. And people need to understand we need to start debunking the media where we're saying, oh, well, Steve Kerr said this, Pat Riley said this. Bro, we do not care. Because once I heard that Phil Jackson said those particular things about Carmelo Anthony, and then also dissing Kobe, while Kobe is the reason why you ended up being in the position that you are, because we all knew that Jordan was just that great. And then when it happened again, we're like, oh, Phil Jackson was such a great coach.
Mm-hmm.
No, you took advantage of God given talent on your roster that made your job easy. But that doesn't mean what you say out your mouth hold weight. These particular coaches that have won in the past 10, 15 years ago, like you said, with most of these players that they'll have one chip and then they think that they are, top 10 or they're polarized. What have you done for me today? And if it is not nothing, you shouldn't be talking with your chest out because the same way that we said that players are not safe, and when you look at the draft pick and you're like, oh man, these guys are killing in March Madness. March Madness should show you that you are not safe because the players that you're watching on TV are going to take your spot
Facts.
next
Facts.
summer. Next summer. And then also
Mm-hmm.
some of these coaches that are successful where, it's like some of the coaching staff may not be the head coach, but a lot of these guys that continue to step up and they do well, they go to another program and things of that nature, then they transition to the NBA. Your spot should not be as safe as it should be or as it has been the last couple of years. I seen a Toronto coach with DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry have the best record in the East. and they got beat by prime LeBron James. And you know what they did for a thank you? They said, "You're fired." And I never seen him have a head coaching job position
Dwayne
again.
Casey. Dwayne
Dwayne
Casey.
Casey, and you know why that Dwayne Casey got fired? Because Dwayne Casey looks like you, EJ.
Mm,
Dwayne Casey
mhm.
got fired because Dwayne Casey looks like you. Dwayne Casey was an excellent coach. Dwayne Casey made Toronto relevant again since Chris Bosh left that program. Dwayne Casey had them boys playing at an all-time level, but you lost to somebody that is a generational talent, and you got out of there. So when you are
Yeah.
somebody like Steve Kerr, and
Steve
you
Kerr.
you haven't been playing at a high level and coaching at a high level, why is your seat not hot? I don't. I know that
It
he goes
should,
to sleep. He goes to sleep
bro.
at night not knowing that his seat is hot, and it ain't.
It ain't. It ain't. Steve Kerr is wasting Steph Curry's prime. He's wasting Steph Curry. Steph Curry got a good. He is still putting up 40. He's still. I'm not. Again, we gotta go. Let me move past. But Steve Kerr is wasting Steph Curry's time. That's all I got to say. All right. But I got the Mavs in that game. I got the Mavs. Rockets, Lakers. Like I said, I'm gonna rock with the Lakers if Luka's playing. If Luka's
Okay.
playing, otherwise I probably got the Rockets too. And then Timberwolves, Nuggets. Timberwolves, Nuggets. I think that's gonna be a goodie. I think that's gonna be the game I'm looking forward to watching the most.
I got Ant-Man getting 40 in the dub.
Got Ant. That's tough, man. Okay. I'm gonna go Nuggets just because you went Ant-Man. I ain't got no rhyme or reason. I'm gonna go Nuggets just to be the opposite, man. But because I really like both of these teams. I would
I
love
just
to see this in the 7-game series.
I
I would
love
love
it.
a
I
seven
love
game
it.
with it. You feel me?
And then they got a Ant-Man and Joker got a very dynamic respect for each other.
Yeah,
You know how many
yeah.
times that Ant-Man literally came out and said, Joker is the best player I've ever seen in my life. And even though
Ooh.
SGA is playing that way that he's playing, I still got Joker over everybody. And when
And
you have
Ant-Man's a
that
big
particular
KD fan.
and you have that particular respect with Ant-Man being a true alpha, he don't give a fuck that you're the best player. He still wants to get you off the out of there. I just see him knock LeBron and Luca off light work in the playoffs.
Mhm,
So he wants
mhm.
this Christmas matchup. He knows that the lights is on. Go ahead and do what you
Yeah,
need to do. Do what you need to
yeah.
do, man. I like Ant-Man. I like that grit, bro.
I do. I do. And they talking about, you want to talk about grit? They talking about the Timberwolves might go try to get Colin Sexton. They need a point guard out there. Colin Sexton, that the Hornets put him up for the trade block. They was talking about that. So that would be, I like Colin Sexton out there with them. That he matches Ant-Man's grit. I tell you that.
Gonna be
He matches
bumpy out
that. So
there too. You ain't gonna be
yeah,
just blowing by him. You ain't gonna be scoring on him like that. And I
yeah.
can tell
And
you that
Rudy,
right now. That's a number one upgrade from Mike Conley. I can tell you that.
yeah. And I want to see Rudy guard Joker. Rudy tends to
Shy
he
away,
doesn't
tuck your tail.
he shies away. Yeah, I just want to see how he plays against Joker. I'm not saying he can't guard him. I just want to see. I want to
Make
see
it
that matchup.
competitive, young man.
Make it competitive, man. But yeah, I'm gonna go Nuggets, man. That's all I got, Ted, man. I'm in Ted Tate, man. This is
Hey,
good.
man, it's a
Fire.
pleasure. It's a pleasure. I appreciate everybody watching. Make sure that y'all do me one big favor though before we close out. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe on all platforms, starting with YouTube, Twitch, IG, TikTok, Facebook. It's under Edward Silva Jr. and basically look him up, and he can actually give you all the updated content. It's been a pleasure out here doing this particular hoops coverage. Man, y'all be blessed. We out of here.
We gone.